श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। जन्माद्यस्य यतोन्मयादितरतस्य अर्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्मरुधाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यं सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र सर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. We are in the Dashama Skanda, day 63 of the Bhagavata Puran, and it is a skanda number 10. And we covered the discussion about Rajasuya Yaga and all the other parts of that, plus Balarama's role and what Balarama did during war, the Mahabharata war kind of things. So then there are three more chapters in Dashama Skanda. They are dedicated for the divine friendship of Sudhama and Krishna. This is a very popular, very beautiful story, and it has a lot of inner meanings for the entire story. It's a very well told story and very popular in Bharat. So today we shall look at it. Sudhama, his name is Kuchela, and also he is called as Sudhama. Kuchela is the actual name, and he is also called as Sudhama. Sudhama studied with Krishna, with Sandipini Rishi. When Krishna went for 64 days to Sandipini Rishi to learn all the arts and skills, and that time Sudhama was there with him. So that Sudhama, they had a very beautiful friendship. Now Sudhama has born, of course there is in another, of course not in Bhagavad Puran, but in other places when they talk about Sudhama story, they say Sudhama is the reincarnation of Narada Muni. But Bhagavata does not talk about that. Sudhama born as, Narada Muni has born as Sudhama. If you assume that, he is a very well-read, very pious person, very spiritual person, and he never focused on making material wealth. And he was a close personal friend of Krishna spiritually, but he has never met Krishna after they left the school. And he was completely free of the material desires, maintained himself and his wife with whatever they get. See, when the life gets tough, people try to do, just to meet the ends, they try to do things which are not right things to do, but he never tried doing that. Plus, maybe because of his karma anusara, he was not made any good amount of living, and he continued the life like that. But and also Kuchela, he got married, and after the marriage still the poverty was there, and he was struggling to sustain the family. In one of the other stories, which is not also mentioned in Bhagavad Purana, they say the king of that place, the knight of that place, maybe Jamindar kind of, they hated Krishna and as well as Sudhama, and he was troubling him. This does not talk, the Bhagavad Purana does not talk about this, but because of all those situations, he happened to be a poor guy, financially poor person. But after the marriage, he got a couple of kids, then started the major responsibility. Still, he was not able to manage. So one day, and he never wanted to go to Krishna and ask for the help or anything, because that friendship is different, this relationship is different. So Sudhama decided to continue the life as it comes. Tena tektena bhunjitaha. That kind of approach he took. And whatever the charity he gets, he used it and lived the life. But the kids are growing up, they needed food, and his wife told that you need to get some help. Otherwise, this I'm not going able to continue the life like this, because I can fast with you, but I cannot see my kids suffering. Then he felt, of course there was some discussion happens between her and him. In the Bhagavad Puran they talk about it, but anyway she convinces uh, Sudama to go and meet his friend Krishna. With She doesn't force him though, but she tried to convince, it's not for us, it is for our kids, we have to do that. And this Sudama, there is a beautiful discussion. Sudama says, that's all right, but if I go and beg, he is a richest person, he is now king, I haven't met him so long, and how can I go and ask him directly, go and meet only for this, asking for the help? So I am feeling really uh, ashamed to go and do this. He was reluctant, but she persisted and he agreed to go because responsibility comes first. So he started, and before starting, he asked her, is there anything I can take? Because if I'm going to a great person after so many years, I should not go empty handed. Somehow she said, okay, we whatever we begged in the last night or previous days, that flattened rice, that's avalakki we call, that is there. You can keep it with you and you can take it with you, because whatever the capacity we have, we are taking with us to see your friend. So he went. It took, they in the Bhagavad Purana they say it took a while to reach that place, because he went through the rain and hot places, and maybe it was a rainy season, so he went through the couple of problems on the way, but finally he reached. Then when as soon as he reached and he saw the beauty of this place Dwarka, and the everywhere there are a lot of richness is there, he was mesmerized by what is happening there. And he requested the gatekeepers there to say that I am friend of, then everyone looked, he said I am friend of Krishna, I want to meet him. Everyone looked at him, the dress and other things, but still that country was very well maintained. Nobody was ill treated. So they allowed him. As soon as Krishna saw him far away, he is coming, and Krishna was sitting with Rukmini Devi. And suddenly Krishna saw him. Krishna knew that he is coming. Maybe he is omnipotent and omnipresent. He knew. And he said, as soon as he approached, he immediately stood up from his seat. And Rukmini was surprised. What did he, who is, why, what is the reason he stood up? Then he hurriedly went to his friend, and he expressed so much joy seeing him, and he hugged him. So as soon as he hugged him, and he started treating like a close friend meeting after so many days, and as if Krishna was waiting, right? Then other queens around that place, that when Krishna was sitting with Rukmini, there were other wives, they were also part of that group. They were discussing something. They looked at the way Krishna is acting. They felt, wow, what kind of the person is this? Looks like a beggar. And what kind of punya this guy has done? Krishna stood up when he is sitting with Rukmini. He is having very good talks, and suddenly stands up and goes and hugs this guy with so much joy in his eyes. What kind of person this person is? Looks so poor guy, a Brahmin. What kind of punya he must have done? and people other than the families, other people nearby, they felt, the guards and other guys, they felt, wow, this guy is really Punatma. And Krishna started serving him like very close friend, and like as if he has seen his brother, elder brother, kind of approach he did. He gave the padya and argya to Sudhama. That is worshipping, like in the mode of worshipping Sudhama. And Krishna took his hand in his hand, and he made him to walk where he was sitting earlier. He made him to sit there, and he asked Rukmini to stand up and serve him. Rukmini loved it because Krishna requesting her to do some respect to somebody. That means Krishna is thinking very high about this person. This must be a spiritually highly elevated guys. So she did all the services. The servants came and they asked him to take shower and all those things they did. And Krishna was asking how was the journey, and everything did done. Then uh, then Krishna had a good lunch also. Then Krishna and Sudhama had a good lunch also. Then Krishna and Sudhama started talking about the time they spent in the Gurukula. They remembered so many beautiful memories. They talked about the karunya, how affectionate was their guru. And then they were talking about an incident that happened in the past when they went to a forest. They went to pick the wood for the guru, so that typically the students in the ancient Gurukula, they used to learn as well as go out to serve the guru and guru patni for their day-to-day activities. So that is the kind of thing they did. And one day what happened is, both Sudhama and Krishna went to pick the woods in the forest. They went little far away. By the time they came back, there was a big storm, and it was so much cloud, it started getting dark. They did not realize where they are. Finally they end up, young boys, they end up staying there and fearful, and they were holding each other's hand together. They said, okay, till this gets down, this the condition improves, we should not walk. But here Sandipini felt very bad that the kids have gone to bring this woods for the home from the forest, and it is raining and it is very dangerous storm. So he decided, he started walking. See, that is the beauty of a guru, how much care he took. He started walking towards the forest to find these kids. He started yelling, he started shouting their names and asking for where are you, kind of thing. So finally he ended up coming there and meeting them, and then he hugged those kids. And Sandeep, this is the memory that they are bringing up. They're remembering Krishna and Sudhama. They are remembering about the affection of Sandipini that he showed. And Sandipini told them, oh my children, you have suffered so much for me and my family's sake. For anyone, the body is the dear to every living, but you did not even care for that. You went to the forest, and for any animals also, their body is very important. They should be scared, but you guys stood together and did this dedication for me. You are uh, you are the best students because you have a dedication for this teacher. And I expect this kind of duty for all the disciples. and I will repay your debt. And by offering with my pure heart all the wealth, the spiritual wealth and greatness, all that I taught you, and that will be staying with you forever. That means all the vidya that you learned will be useful and staying with you forever. That is the kind of ashirvada he did. That's what Krishna and Sudama are remembering. And Krishna also remembered one more situation where they went. He said, "We had so many beautiful similar experiences while we were living with the spiritual master. Just because of his grace of the spiritual master, the guru, anyone can fulfill the life's purpose and attain the eternal peace." That is the kind of experience we had with him. I believe in the past, in the gurukulas, they used to teach the values and the principles for the life. So that's where we see here uh, the way Krishna treating his own friend after so many years, who is so poor guy, but he respected him equally, as equal as the man they met in that last. He did not even differentiate. Now he is a kingsman, and that guy is a poor Brahmin, but he treated. So maybe that is the teachings of Sandipini, and of course Krishna is Krishna. And Sudhama says, whatever it is, and what could I possibly have failed to achieve? You are the universal teacher, he is telling to Krishna. And since I was able to personally live with you, and that has fulfilled all my desires and all those things. And he was so happy about being with uh, being with Krishna. Now Krishna is a smart guy. He's trying to pull Sudama's leg. By the way, what gift you got me? You came after so many years to meet me. You must have got some good gift for me, right? I regard, as he says, phalam patram. I think you must be remembering this. This is a very commonly used shloka. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayeschati tadaham bhuktya pahrutam ashtami prayat prayatatmana prayatatmana. If one offers me with love and devotion even a small leaf or a flower or a water, I will accept it. So, what did you bring? Sudama felt very ashamed because he has seen the beautiful palace, so much wealth. What did he bring? He bring which is not worthy. That's what Sudama is thinking. But for that, this is the response from Bhagavan. You give me small things, I am, because already Sudama knows Bhagavan himself, the Krishna himself is a universal teacher. Now he says, I got opportunity to. Still, the beauty of this Bhagavat Puran, we see whether it is a Brahma, whether it is Narada, whether it is Shiva, though we think they are very knowledgeable, they know this is a Krishna, is a Bhagavan, avatar of Vishnu, still they have that Ajnana. Even Yashoda Mata had the Ajnana of getting confused between the real life and the spiritual life. Here again, Sudama is also getting into mode saying that, oh, what can I give it to him? He knows he is Bhagavan. What can I give to him, right? But he still thinks whatever he brought is nothing. But everywhere Bhagavan is there, even that whatever he got to him is also from Bhagavan, right? So he should have thought that way. But the Maya is always catching up with everyone. So here also same thing happening with Sudama. He thinks, how do I give this to him? But Sudama says he felt too embarrassed. And he was saying, no, 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 I did not bring anything. I did not bring anything, kind of thing. So now Krishna is asking him, "But why you are shying so much? Is everything okay? He is asking, he is inquiring about his friend. What is happening in your life? Or did you get married? Or is there any problem you have in your life? If you are not married, we have beautiful women in Dwarka. I will get you married to one of the best women here." He's all kidding. He knows. He knows Bhagavan Krishna knows everything. But still he is pulling Sudama. This is the beautiful friendship. The slokas are so beautiful. The dialogue between Sudama and Krishna is so beautiful. One should read. But these are some samples I'm talking to you. Now he's saying, if you want to get married, I can arrange. I am your close friend, right? But by the way, what did you bring? Again, he comes back to the same point. He says, no, I did not bring anything. Just I came to meet you. And totally Sudama forgot what he came for. Krishna Krishna checked his bags and says, okay, you have something here that you are holding in your hand. What is this? Then he took that small package and opens up. There is a flat rice, that is avalakki we call. He looked at it. My goodness, you remember this? I am fond of this avalakki, Do you remember once in the forest we went and you did Sandipini Rishi's mother, that his wife, had given us the food and you did not want to share? All those things they talked. Then you ate yourself because you were hungry, kind of thing. So Krishna remembered something that Sudama did that time. Even he says, Krishna thinks, even though you forgot that time, now you have to give this time. Krishna is thinking. So he snatched it and he took one handful of thing and he ate. Krishna felt so happy. When Bhagavan feels so happy, entire world feels so happy. So he felt happy about this person. Now Rukmini is watching there. Oh my goodness, what is happening? Because if Bhagavan is blessing with one mushti of avalakki, one handful of avalakki, that means Sudama's lifetime achievement is done. As soon as Krishna put another hand, this is in Bhagavat, Rukmini stopped him. No, no, enough, Krishna, enough. You already, they know each other. You already gave whatever he wanted. If you keep doing like this, what else you can give him? It is too much. So enough. Be happy with one handful of avalakki that you got, and you are happy about it. This is a drama that the Vedavyasa Rishi is showing about how there was a conversation between Rukmini and Krishna. Does Krishna did not know that if he eats twice, the Aishwarya and other things will double, or whatever it is? But this is the fun part. This is the romantic part of the Krishna and Rukmini. She stopped him and said, do not do. Whatever you have given is enough for his life. That is, you blessed him. You in case you and us see that this is a common happening, right, in our families. If you go to your in somebody's home as a guest, there is some food very tasty, you start eating, your wife will hold your hand. Enough, you already have grown up your belly too much, right? Don't consume much, right? That is our case. But in case of Rukmini, the reason was different. She did not control his diet. She controlled, saying that what a small piece you eat, you bless the whole world to the people. So keep it controlled. They spent a good time. They had fun. Rukmini was helping, being part of the discussion. Sudama and Krishna were moving around and had fun. And Krishna told him, "Hey, please stay today. Let us spend time tonight talking. Then you can go tomorrow." Sudama agreed, but Sudama did not open his mouth for asking the wealth or anything. He came for that, but he did not ask. Here is a big difference between what happened if you listen to the Mahabharata story. Same thing happens with Dronacharya. Dronacharya and Drupada are the friends in Gurukula, and now Drupada has become king. And Drupada had promised Dronacharya, saying that when we are so close, when I become the king, I will give you half of my kingdom to you. And Dronacharya goes to him asking for that. You know the story. What happens? He denies. But here is the difference between the spiritual friendship between Sudhama, the high quality friendship of Sudhama and Krishna. Krishna has blessed him, but Krishna did not tell him that you will be getting whatever you are looking for. He did not tell him. Sudhama did not ask anything from him because he felt whatever Bhagavan has given is enough for me. He gave me his hug. He gave me opportunity to sit with him, eat. He gave me opportunity to be part of his friendship as classmate. So he was so joyous. He forgot everything. He decided not to ask anything. So he said, okay. He spent whole night there. Next day morning, he went up. He started going back to his place. But Krishna came down and he walked him up to the end of the township so that he can continue the journey. And the entire Dwarka was watching what Krishna is doing. So much respect for this person. Who is this person? Kind of thing. So that is the greatness of Krishna, that they show that how he valued the friendship and how he made Sudhama feel so good. This reminds me one thing that recently one of our RSS senior Karyakarta mentioned about this in 2015 or 16 time frame. He happened to be in Delhi, New Delhi. He went to RSS Karyalaya in Delhi. And while he was in Karyalaya, somebody said Prime Minister is coming. So this guy stood up. Everybody is there. Karyalaya is a big place where people are moving around. This guy stood by the side of the people because they have to walk, right? And suddenly the Prime Minister looked at him. He said, this is Sridhar, it is you? When did you come from Chicago? This guy had met Modiji when Modiji visited in the past, maybe 20 years or 15 years back, when he was not even a chief minister. As a Karyakarta, he had visited, and this gentleman took him through, showed him Chicago and other places. After 20 years, this is the first time he's seeing this person, a prime minister. There must be hundreds of people around, but this guy saw him, stopped, and put a hand on his shoulder and said, how is Chicago? When did you come? Kind of thing. And of course, he was in a rush and he said, okay, we'll meet sometime. Then went. This guy came back from Delhi, from Bharat, and he shared this this story with us. What kind of person this man is? He's like a god, man. And he was remembering of Sudhama meeting Krishna, kind of feeling he got. So his eyes were wet when he was talking about this story. So such quality of friendship, we see a divine friendship or this divine qualities in great people. Of course, Krishna is Krishna. He must be acted like that. So I don't doubt that part. But we have seen in our life so many times how we ourselves behave very bad with our friends, relatives, especially when you achieve a level. I have heard, of course I have not seen anybody doing that. I have heard even some kids do the very bad behavior with their parents. They don't even try to recognize if they are in association with their level of friends. For example, a farmer's son becoming a doctor, and if he is with those friends, I have heard the stories. He denied to recognize his parents, kind of, because they were not well dressed. So there's a big difference between the way Krishna is asking us to behave by this story, and the people who are behaving like this. So there is all the Maya of the materialistic world that we see. When Sudama started going back to his place, he was thinking, what the miracle happened? How did Krishna treat me? He enjoyed the entire journey. Without knowledge, he already came to his place. He comes to his place, that hut is not there. There is a beautiful palace. And he got little confused. Did I come to right place? Because I was thinking about Krishna and my friendship with him. Now suddenly I see there is a beautiful palace there. People are moving around. There are so many servants. And somebody shouted, "Oh, your husband has come." From the inside, a beautiful lady, that is his wife, with well dressed, with lot of high quality dresses, like a posh looking lady, comes out. She's so happy to see Sudama, but Sudama is in rags. Sudama being, he went with rags and he's coming back with rags. Now he looks at his wife and what is going on? But Sudama felt, oh, this is all Yoga Maya of Shri Krishna. As soon as I met him, though I did not ask, he knew what I'm came here for. He blessed it. That is the time of the Dwapara Yuga. These kind of miracles do happen very frequently. If we think of the Indraprastha, building the Indraprastha for Yudhishthira by Krishna and his association, they did beautiful palace they built within no time. So same thing they did. So Krishna has shown so many miracles in that time. So same thing happened with Sudhama also. So the question of whether it is possible to do or not to do it is, though our mind cannot absorb easily, but this used to happen in the past. And not only that, if you look into the autobiography of Yogi, the book, beautiful book, there also that he talks about some golden palace was built within the Himalayan mountains, and he showed the one of the yogis showed them. He, within no time, he built that palace with lot of gold and other glitterings, and showed these people the miracle. uh, and he records that in his book, in autobiography of Yogi. These are the now Sudhama got his all the material wealth what his wife requested her from him, plus he got blessed by the friendship of Bhagavan, and he was already in the ecstasy. He is already there. These material things, it did not make any difference for him, but as a responsibility for wife and kids, he did what he wanted to do. So such a beautiful story. And they say Sudama continued worshipping, and he was very happy about Yoga Maya of Bhagavan, and he felt, how can I forget this? Throughout life he had a blissful life. This is the story of Bhagavan Krishna and Sudama. It is very well narrated in 3 chapters, but I took some portions of that. Now recently I saw one more thing happened. Coming back to the analysis of the story, right? It is mainly the story of the love and friendship between Krishna and Krishna and Sudama. Especially for this age, at the current situation, though we have thousands of friends in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, but real friends are very, very few. For some people, they don't have friends also. The question when it comes to real friends is very difficult to measure, because even we don't maintain that real friendship sometimes, because we are so much caught up by the day-to-day activities. What is there for me? Can I waste time or not waste time? Can I go and serve, not serve? If at all you try to do, your spouse or somebody will stop you doing that. No, you cannot do, kind of. So we are so much deviated from the principles that one should be doing, because of the Kali Yuga and all those things. But the reason I'm talking about these things, in this time also there is a beautiful things. There are so many beautiful things are happening. Best one I saw was, there is a, if you look into the Google, maybe YouTube also, you can look for Inspiration 4. This is a Inspiration 4 is the first all civilian space flight by SpaceX Dragon. Dragon is the uh, the the payload that they took into the space. In this case, there is a billionaire called Jared Isaacman. He spent his he privately funded trip for, along with him, three more people. He did not choose astronauts. He chose common people whom he never knew. He identified the persons based on some rules. People who have become shown heroism, serving in the serving, maybe seva kind of activities, and people who have he selected some, one is random, just select. I think he made an announcement in Super Bowl, if you donate even a $10 or $20 to this charity. Of course, he did a big fundraising. He did a $2 million of fundraising for that hospital. And by saying in the Super Bowl program that if you donate, you will be having an opportunity to join with me for the space, going into the space. Like that, he choose four people who are unknown to him. They are all common people. You need to watch this. This is a beautiful, I think it is in Netflix, Inspiration 4. If you search, you will get it. This guy, he spent entire, he's $2 billion. Of course, he is the $9 or $10 billion guy. Jared Isaacman, he spent $2 billion with SpaceX, and they took these three commoners from US, and they trained them and they took them to the space. One of them was a lady who has dreamt so much about going to space. She tried, she could not go, and she got opportunity. The way she was expressing the joy of going there, and can these things happen in life, kind of thing. And there is another woman who fought her cancer in the early childhood. Then she decided to serve to the same hospital, the same cancer hospital where the children get treated. She started serving them. She wanted to be the hope for those new kids who have the cancer. So that kind of person, she also went to the space. So she had a broken leg, but somehow they trained her, they managed her, and they took. Of course, she has her leg fixed also, but it is as prosthetic. That girl also talks about miracles, how the miracles happen, and now she says, "I am the hope for other kids that can happen. So don't lose the hope." So these things are happening in current world, the miracles, one or the other way. So naturally, Krishna doing this to Sudhama, we can really conceive by observing other things like this. So that is the total story of Krishna and Sudhama. This is a wonderful story, and the entire world, it is a very this is a very popular story. And here is the final thoughts on the entire story. When we keep analyzing the inner meaning of the story, it is about the Krishna and Sudhama. They teach us the true meaning and the value of the friendship, and also that means the way especially the way Krishna treated Sudhama when he saw him first time after so many years. Then we should also not demand. This is one more story, one more information that we can gather and analyze, saying that we should not demand anything in relationship with as a reciprocation of our devotion. When we do the bhakti, it should be nishkama karma. Even when we do the karma, seva should be done selfless. That's why it is called seva. It's not the service. There is a big difference between service and seva. Selfless service is called seva. So whatever we do to others, it should be selfless. Whatever the bhakti we do, it should not be expecting something out of it. Then it becomes vyavahar. That's what happened when Prahlada Raja, when Hiranyakashipu got killed by Narsimha. Then Narsimha avatar, the Prabhu, that is Vishnu, was asking this boy, 5-year-old boy, what you want from me? I am so happy about you. That 5-year-old boy said, we are not doing any business. I am not a businessman. I am your bhakta. You know what you want me to have. You give me whatever you want at your own time, at your own will. That is the level of mental elevation that boy had. Similarly, Sudhama case also. Sudhama never, though he went there because of the situation, but he did not ask. He knew Bhagavan knows, God knows better than us what we want and what we don't want. So he will bless if it is required. So that is the kind of trust he had in Bhagavan. That is the Sudhama's teachings from this story. Now the question comes, did Krishna help Sudhama because he was a childhood friend? Doing a favoritism? No. He had so many childhood friends, including Shishupala was there, right? His own relative. He did not do any favoritism. But what is that he did? Because he blessed Sudhama, because Sudhama was in a right path. Sudhama followed the spiritual trail. And that is the time, when the time is ripe, Krishna blessed him. We are not talking about the material wealth his wife got. The hug he got from Krishna, the respect he got from Krishna, and the whole world recognized. Till today we remember the story of Sudhama and Krishna as the highest valuable story, and we cherish every moment we speak about it. So that is the beauty of this story, and this is where we stop. And let us do the samarpana of this beautiful discussion to Sri Krishna. We can start the next part in the next session. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.